What's going on, people? Welcome back to another JSTV, back again Saturday, and there's no football first. We've got a game on Monday, and I've got two talented lads as well, one for Oklahoma, and I've got a new debut coming on my channel as well. We're going to start with Adam first, Toon_Collector. Adam, how are you, man?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having us. My debut on a podcast, so a little bit nervous and excited at the same time.
Fantastic. If the screen crashes, right, John, take over, chat to each other, and then we'll be straight back in 2 minutes as well. But that's too late. And big up to Leslie. Thanks, shared chat to social as well. Thank you very much indeed. Big up to you, John. How are you, man?
Hey, I'm pretty good. I want to say hi to Leslie too. She's great.
She is.
Great.
Fantastic stuff. We'll go for the comments. Before we do that, if you like the video, like what you watch, please make sure to smash the like and subscribe button. Any comments, leave a comments in the comment section, and super chats are open as well. And just click on the dollar sign. And if you'd like to become a member, there's a link to it as well. Click on that. You copy paste it, click on it. The link's on top of the title as well. And then it's 99p to join my membership. Big up to Back in the Net podcast. Do subscribe to his channel. It's on fire. Big up to Luca, big Guna fan. And afternoon to Leslie. Thanks a lot. Big up to Joe Willock, #1 fan. It's good seeing him back on the pitch as well. Big up to Joe Willock and his #1 fan. Thank you, Lorraine 200. Hi to you. Hope you're okay. Thank you, Lorraine. Hi to Jules as well. And welcome Adam, John here. And me as well, Jules. And me.
Hey, Jules. How you doing?
Thank you. And thank you to John's guest as well. Right, let's talk straight away. We're going to talk about topics as well. It's called the Real Talk Podcast. Talk about different subjects as well, which is going to be really, really good. And let's talk about Adam. First, you come first because you're the guest. Jamal Lascelles, does he deserve a new deal? I mean, he's trying to sign a new deal a couple of years ago. I mean, I think he split the fans. All the to messages I received saying, yes, he's a good backup player. Yes, he deserves it and this and that. And top of, in your own words, your own opinion, does he deserve it?
If you'd asked the question a few years ago, the answer would have been no. But based on performances this year, how he's played, how he's played a role in the squad, I think it's a great idea to extend it for another year.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, right? I mean, Lascelles, he's only made 213 appearances in 10 seasons. Yeah, I mean, some people said he needs to be moved on. We need to step up another level, in my opinion, right? But for me, I mean, yeah, I think fair enough, give him 1 year, but it has to be a backup for me. I mean, the thing is, he's not going to be. I don't think he'll be in the first team. It'll be a good backup, but for me personally, what we need is a defender with pace at the back. That's what we actually need. Like a Maxine Lacroix, plays for Wolfsburg as well. He's got pace as well. He'd be perfect for the Premier League. He's really, really quick. So we need a centre back with pace. But personally, I've got no problems with Lascelles signing on. But would it be should it be moved on, or will it save us FFP?
Well, I think the fact that he's not costing any more money and you're not paying to bring in a backup, because I think Shaw and Botman are going to be the two starters, aren't they? They're going to be the two starters for the rest of the season. They're going to be the two starters, hopefully, for next season as well. It means that we don't have to spend lots of money bringing in a backup or looking for someone to develop at the moment when we've got a couple of young defenders in the squad already. So it will hopefully let them spend some money elsewhere.
Yeah. Fair enough. Big up to go on, Kyle.
I think he's a known quantity. He's served the club so well. He's a captain. Okay. Yeah. So you need it's nice to have a collection of captains on your team, and that's something he brings. And that helps you on the pitch, that helps you on training ground, that helps you in the clubhouse, So I'm thrilled. I like the guy. He's just steady. He's gotten more time towards the end of this year. And he's proved to be reliable. He's not a superstar, but he's been very reliable. So I got to agree with Adam. And, he's probably going to be a backup, and that's fine. And I think he actually looks forward to that because he's been with the club for so long. He's been through the painful years. So now he gets to enjoy, you know, in his older age, gets to enjoy the glory of where we've been going the last year and a half. So yeah, I'm okay. I'm a fan of his. I like him, and I root for him when he's on there. You know, I don't want him to make the wrong pass or do anything wrong. I want him to just be solid, locking down some minutes for us. You know, so I'm happy with it.
But a few years ago, it was when he was on the ball, you always thought, oh no, what mistake is he going to make? And his game under Eddie Howe has improved to now. Actually, when he's got the ball, you're not worried. You're not as worried. You've got more confidence in him, and he's developed this season. So hopefully, if he continues to, he'll be a good squad player, definitely.
Yeah, I've noticed that he and even I think one of the players was critical of him, or somebody was critical of him, and said he always makes the safe pass. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, because there's times when you want him to try something, but at the same time, if it backfires, you know, you're going to be blaming him. It's like, just be steady, you know, just keep it moving. So I root for him when he's out there, just because of his history and long time with the club.
Yeah, we'll see that one. Got some comments there. Hi to Alan. Hi to everyone else in the chat. We need an upgrade on Lascelles. Someone with pace. I've always said that. Always said that. Hope we will join the panel. Smash the likes and sub to these guys. Thank you very much to Rosie. Big Rangers fan. I hope I got it right this time. Hello to Wayne. Welcome to the chat, Wayne. Lascelles knows how to conduct themselves with grace and respect. A good energy to have around.
Yeah.
With that of you, and let's just chatting to Mr. Lascelles. Let's go on to we are indeed Rosie. Absolutely great. Hope you're good, and I'm also flying in as well, which is great. And you did, John Rangers fan, yes. So Rosie, say no more. Bless her. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said to you, John, I'll go with you. 213 appearances for Jamal. 13 goals to his name, right? And like I said, the comments I received when I posted out a tweet about Jamal, basically saying that it's good to have with people saying it's not good enough and that. Is he good enough for Newcastle United? Yes, people say he's happy to sign. Is he good enough for Newcastle? For me, I think it's a backup.
Yeah. I think he's going to stay in the same status he is right now, which is, you know, he's a backup pretty much, right? So I think it's okay to sign him. And the other thing is, let's say we do get access to somebody who's really talented back there. That doesn't mean we can't, you know, loan him or sell him at one of the windows or something like that. So I think it's a safe move to get him on. Just sign him, keep him happy. He's done well. He can serve the club. So yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. What about you, Adam?
I think for where the club are, Lascelles is the right person for that job. I think Eddie Howe said he's a good leader. He is the captain of the team. So to keep him with the group makes sense. And I think, like I said before, spending money now, I don't think bringing in a centre half is a priority at the moment. And with the restrictions that are in place, I think it makes more sense to spend that money elsewhere, tie him up for another year. And then maybe next year, then look to bring in someone to maybe replace Shaw and build a squad that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the comes on, does the job. It's a bit of a housery, by the way, Adam. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit of a housery, but you're not going to get 3 points being a housery at the end of the day. Like, do you know what I mean? I think he got put about 3 times last season for being a bit of a housery. Do you know what I mean? And I think the referee is a little bit peeved off about it. But at the end of the day, hey ho. I mean, look, he has his good games, yeah. I think when I watched him against Blackburn a week and a half ago, I mean, I thought he did all right until he made that mistake, which led to the Blackburn equaliser, yeah. He's got a mistake in him, I'm not going to lie. But on his day, I mean, he has some good games in the Champions League as well.
Yeah, definitely. In the Champions League, he surprised me. You like you said, you're waiting for that mistake to happen. But when he was playing against those bigger clubs, it didn't happen. And he looked good. He looked comfortable. So he's definitely there to do a job, but maybe not ahead of the others, and not long term.
Yeah, I think we're in a position where we've got to keep these guys happy. And by the way, Eddie Howe does a great job of doing that. You know, he's all for the players because he still needs them. Now there'll come a time when he won't need them as much, and he'll have to have a conversation with them. And I'm hoping it'll be just in Eddie's style. It'll be a fatherly discussion, and it won't be, "Hey, you're out," you know, because you got to keep people happy and keep people confident. And he does bring that. You know, he gives people confidence. They do play better under Eddie. So you got to keep that going as long as you can. And then when that day comes when we need a replacement, well, you know, they'll start having that discussion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was going to touch on what Jules has said as well about Lascelles. It's just the extension for Lascelles also doesn't mean the club's going backwards or lacking ambition. It's a shrewd, stable move. Now, I've seen a lot of tweets yesterday, right, saying that, oh, now we people saying now he's going backwards and stuff like that. Yeah, saying we've gone like not moving forward. Yeah, there's especially Twitter handler. I'm not going to mention it, right? I mean, so I was just a bit of a negative sort of thing, like, you know, having got the club and that, and saying that the club's going backwards now. The sales are signing a new deal. For me, I have to think it over, slept on it, and say, look, you know what? It'd be a good backup for me because he's fit, he's fine, and when he comes in, he does a job. It's not Sam Botman, it's not Fabian Shah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But when he comes in, he does a job. And if you're going to play three centre-backs, three centre-halves in big games, then you never know. It could be useful.
Yeah. And big shout out to Jules. That's exactly right. I think that's the point I was trying to make is this keeps our options open, okay? It doesn't mean he's going to be here for the next year and a half, 2 years. It just means we're signing him. We need him. He served us well, and this will help his confidence too. So, yeah.
I think if anything, it lets the club build and move forward more than a step backwards.
Yeah. And the more stable that dressing room is, the better off the team is. So you just don't look what Chelsea did. They brought in like 20 people, right? And then they tried to figure out how they're going to play and who's going to be the leader on the team and who's going to, so that we need a stable environment right now.
Yeah. Hopefully that backfires on Monday for them as well.
Yeah, we're going to come on to that game later on as well, a little bit as well. So, it's funny, by the way. I hope we smash them on Monday night. I had Alex on, be sure, on Monday, guys, and big Chelsea fan TV. Big up to Alex, by the way. And you know what, my friend, if you're watching, big up to Alex. So do follow Chelsea fan TV. The guy speaks a lot of sense. Got some more comments as well. I'll comment that one in a minute, by the way. So I'll see what you mean. So I was going to say, so Lascelles, are you happy with him staying, guys? Yes or no? For me, I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Good move.
Yep. Keeps our options open. Keeps things stable.
Yeah. Jules says, that's why people shouldn't instantly react on socials. As you say, take your time, reflect. Jules, you're right. And I do listen to you, by the way. But just don't mention bingo. Because I said that last time, I nearly got slapped. And don't call a hubby, he's a fella if I know he's not. We stand in the Midlands. Shane was beautiful on the Sunday first thing. Wolves has just scored. Sheffield United beating Bournemouth home. Did you see the Lankeys penalty miss? Oh my God. Absolute David Beckesk slipped as he's over 1-0 to Palace. There you go. Thank you for that, Rosie. Let's go straight on to the next one. This is going to get everyone talking here. A stadium move. Do you think, guys, I'll start with you, John. Do you think that Newcastle should move away from St. James's Park to a new stadium?
This is a really tough question. I think that the things the club has been putting out or the media has been putting out is trying to soften the ground with all the fans to an eventual move. It looks like that's what they're planning. For me personally, I would be disappointed if we had to move, especially if we had to locate away from the center city. It's an excellent location. everybody has worked out over generations how they get to the match. It's and they stop at pubs along the way. This is a class environment that a lot of other clubs don't have. It would really shake things up. And I'm going to tell you, I've been writing this up. I'm trying to submit an article about it. The two things that the ownership bought when they bought Newcastle was they bought the most passionate fan base, and they bought St. James Park, which is the environment where that fan base feels comfortable, feels connected, and it's such a big part of who we are. I would love for them to exhaust every possibility and even share those possibilities with the fans of the different things they could do to add more seats. If you ask me, do we need an 80,000 seater? I really don't think we do. 70,000, I think, would be the max, and 65 would really help us, because you want a buzz around your club. You want that passion, but you also want, I can't get a ticket all the time, but when I can, it's a big event, And so they should dedicate, maybe it would be terrific in my mind if they could expand it to 65 in some way. And that way, that would allow a lot more season ticket or hospitality or whoever they're catering to into the match, and dedicate a couple, 3,000-4,000 seats, maybe even 5,000 seats to day of game, people that are in a lottery that have an address in the Northeast, that are either address in the Northeast or are registered with the club as local supporters. And that section would be nuts all the time, because it wouldn't be the same people all the time, but it would be the passionate fan base that Newcastle is. So I really think they need to dedicate as much time as possible to thinking about what they're doing when they're moving a stadium. If they can't do it at St. James, they've got to somehow make those people as comfortable as possible in wherever they're going to go. And because that's the two biggest assets they have, St. James Park and the passion of the Geordies, the two biggest assets. You don't want to monkey with either one of them. If you build a wonderful new stadium that has everything and it doesn't make the Geordies comfortable, you've just lost your soul, okay? And we don't want that. So, yeah, I feel really strongly about it. But on the other hand, if this system of football is all about money, which it really is, unfortunately, it's not like the NFL here where they share resources, they share revenue. The league makes a whole lot of money and everybody gets a big cut of that. And then you have your stadium and you're, on top of it. So it just seems like a race, a money race, and it's completely out of control. That's why they're trying to control it now, but I don't think they're coming up with the right rules. But yeah, you got me all started.
Yeah. And that's why we got you on here, though, John. Then I don't know what I mean, because you're one of the voice of reasons, right? And it says it how it is. Before we come to Adam, to say to Adam, going to Phil, pick up to Phil. Stadium club needs to build money revenue first. If they relocate, it would cost millions and take a long time to recoup financially. Would rather extend the ground and plow relocation money into the team. Basically, what Phil's saying, Adam, is right. Best to do it on the pitch first, right? Win some trophies first. Titles and top four football, yeah. Get the revenues in first, get a successful team, and then go to a new stadium. But I heard people as well saying that people haven't got season tickets, would like to have a new stadium, so they got every chance going into the stadium. What's your take on that one?
Well, I've got two opinions here. Obviously, the first one is off the top of my head. There is nowhere else like St. James's Park. And I sometimes think that people forget that when they're so quick to, yes, let's move to a new stadium. I think they forget that It's one of the few, if not only, I can think of off the top of my head, city centre grounds. It's close to restaurants, it's close to hotels, it's close to bars. You know, there's a reason that it's away fans' favourite away day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we obviously going frequently, you forget that, and you think, oh yeah, it might be all right to just move it wherever, down the road, up here, there, and like John said, it might not create the same sort of atmosphere. But there is obviously growing concerns with ticketing issues, and the current stadium, I don't believe, is meeting the needs of the fans and meeting the needs of the club, because I think I read that Spurs currently make, is it 3 times as much, or bring in as 3 times as much revenue on match days as we do.
Yeah.
Therefore, you know, with financial fair play and the restrictions that are in place, building a team in competition with that is always going to be difficult when you're working at a third of the budget, for example. So I would love to stay at St James's Park. I think that, as I said, there's nowhere like it. But I can understand the need to move elsewhere for a bigger ground for, as you say, something around the 65,000, maybe 70,000, with the option for lots of corporate events. Because I think that's really where we're going to drum up more revenue and enable us to be more competitive on the pitch, unfortunately, because that is the way the game's going.
Yeah, I want to mention one other thing. All good points, by the way, Adam, and I agree. I absolutely agree. We're kind of in the middle on this. We're being pulled every which way. Here's what we love. Here's what we know we need. And it's very tough. I will add one other thing, and this is something I was writing up, was in the U.S., back in the 70s and 80s, we went through this this period of time where everybody wanted a new stadium, and they built these wonderful new stadiums, right? It reminds me of what they did at West Ham and Tottenham and, you know, some of the others.
Arsenal.
They built, you know, this big round bowl that could do many things, right? But the atmosphere was terrible. And what they called it was, the baseball players used to call it a coffee can. It's just a coffee can. They got one in St. Louis. They got one in Pittsburgh. They got one in Cincinnati. They got one, you know, everybody had the same model, a big concrete round bowl, and no soul at all. Nothing to make it personal. If they do build a new stadium, if they have to build a new stadium, I wish they would study what happened at Camden Yards in Baltimore, which is a baseball park, which they built in the middle of the city, close to all kinds of things. And one developer wanted to wreck this big warehouse down. And the people that built the park said, no, that's a beautiful backdrop to our stadium. And it's something that some home run hitters can actually hit the ball to that, and it bounces off that warehouse. They kept it. It's been there forever. It's a warehouse that's along the train tracks. That's the longest warehouse in North America. It's the longest building in North America. So what they did when they built that stadium is everybody moved from the old ballpark that was wonderful, that was all the way across town, but a different part of the city. They moved and they felt comfortable in this place because it wasn't built like a new bowl. It was built like an old stadium. Okay. So I would love to see the owners take note of Camden Yards and decide that they have to build in features that football fans will feel comfortable with. Example, one thing that we saw this year at Dortmund was the big wall of people behind the goal, right? Do something like that, or build a tower that has the Newcastle Brown Ale, you know, logo. Do something to make the fans feel a part of it. That's what I would like to see. You got to
go on, Kyle.
You got to make it special. You can't just look at our bowl. It's better than Arsenal's bowl or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I agree.
Don't do that. Make it a Newcastle football stadium, and of course it will be flexible enough to accommodate concerts and other things.
So basically what you're saying is you think Newcastle should stay where it is?
Oh, I would love it to be there, but you know, the logistics of how they would have to do that would be, they would probably have to start building the new park next to it and then eventually move. But I think that we as fans have a different feeling about what we want than an ownership group or partners that might want, you know, a big hotel and restaurants around it and a fan zone. They want all of that. And I understand it and appreciate that because it will bring in more money. So then it becomes a limitation of where you can have that park. Can we use the Leas's Park area to build the new stadium? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you can, because once St. James is taken down, that's where the hotels and everything else goes, you know. But yeah, I would love to see it as close to where it is now, because that's the connection that brings all the fans in from their pubs and everything else.
I mean, the thing is, right, on my opinion is, right, I mean, it's going to upset a lot of people. I think we're going to end up moving to a new stadium, not too far away. I'll agree with Les there. As long as it's at Leas's Park, that is cool. And it's got to be closer where St. James's Park used to be. For me, we're not going to get a new stadium. We have to move within the times, yeah? If we are going to move to the next step, next level, right, in my opinion, I think we're going to need to move. And if you don't move, then if you don't move the time moves without you. Do you know what I mean? So I think we're going to end up moving the stadium. Not too far. Leas's Park will do. That'll be fine. And I think we're going to end up having a new stadium. How long it's going to be, I don't know. But maybe a couple, yeah. We have to wait and see. So I think we're going to end up getting a new stadium. I know, Adam, do you agree with that?
Yeah, obviously, if they could make the changes to St. James's Park and accommodate more fans and accommodate more corporate experiences, then obviously there would be no need for a move. But I can't ever see them, you know, finding middle ground between the land around the stadium. So I think you're right. You have to move with the times. Leas's Park would be ideal. I couldn't personally see them building on that. The Town Moor, again, would be another great site. But again, I couldn't see the council, even though they've said they would back a new ground or accommodate them the best they could. I couldn't see that happening. There is talks of other places within Newcastle, but you know, we'll have to wait and see what comes out.
Hey, by the way, just a follow-up on what I was talking about before. You know, Baltimore built Camden Yards, and it was amazingly successful. The people of Baltimore embraced it. Not only that, it became the model for baseball parks from then on. So we have a tremendous opportunity, if we're going to build a new stadium, to say, hey, we're going to take all the modern amenities and put them into this stadium, but we're also going to do something a little different. We're not going to build a big concrete bowl or a big, you know, I don't know, a big copycat thing. Like, let's create something new and special for the fans, and then watch what happens when other people build their park. They'll follow that model. Because now stadiums around the country have done that. They built old-time baseball parks, just like we need to have some elements of an old-time football stadium built in, a football park built into our new facility.
Yeah.
I've never been to Spurs' new ground, but everybody that's been says it is by far the best. And obviously, judging off the numbers, that it's the numbers that, you know, the board are going to be interested in, and generating that extra revenue on match day. That's going to be the real driver, I think, for for the move. I don't think it's going to be, you know, certain people missing out on tickets and things like that. I think it is going to be a more money orientated move.
Yeah, and I think there, and this is the only reason I got so passionate about maybe incorporate some things into for the fans, is because I think the ownership group is going to want to have the wow factor. They're going to want to have something that everybody goes, look at this place. Oh my gosh, you know. And of course, Newcastle people, if they do it right, will be very proud of that stadium too. But I just think that's going to be their focus. You know, they probably came to the 3 matches in the States. Some of the people did, I'm sure, from Newcastle, and they saw like the new Atlanta stadium, the Mercedes-Benz stadium, and it's just, I mean, you walk in there and you're like a little kid. You're like, this is crazy. I've never seen a building this big before. You know, it's just a big covered bowl, and it's really impressive. So I think they're going to want that. I mean, they're wealthy people, and they want to make a splash internationally, I'm sure. So that's the driver of them. And the driver of the fans is something that I'm just trying to express.
Yeah, facts. Absolute facts. I mean, we have to see what happens when we get a new stadium. I mean, for me, I'm up for a new stadium all day long. I mean, I agree with Pete. Load of mad. He's so spot on what he said overnight, and he thinks it's going to happen very soon. And I hope that is the case. Big Morgan, big up to you, man. New stadium, new manager. Jose on his way. No thanks. Don't want Jose anywhere near my club. Sorry, guy's done. Guy's done years ago. The reason I take him because he's a winner. But other than that, not for me. Definitely not for me. Yeah. Wolves 2-0 up. Pedro Neto's out injured hamstring, by the way. We've been linked with him, by the way. And everyone's saying, yeah, get him. Maybe Chester's injury record, man. Unbelievable. Adam's made a good point, by the way. Do Newcastle City Council owes Lascelles Park? If so, they're in dire straits for money, so it could happen. I hope it's the case. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. Alan, there is an idea to keep frontage. Lascelles terraces and pull down what's behind. Not sure how it would work. Possibly cost a fortune. That's from Philip. I mean, that's a fair shout. I mean, for what I can see from the East Stand, that cannot be extended. It just cannot be extended. So back at the East Stand, the roads are very narrow, sort of. It's impossible to build. And I've seen it so many times. But for me, it'd be tough. Not sure who owns it, but the fans of Lascelles Park are responsible for his upkeep, and they're struggling financially too. Their chair was in a video saying they'd be up for it. And I tell you what, I just hope that in an ideal world, I like to stay at St. James's Park. But for me personally, if I flip it over, I'm up for a stadium move. Yeah, for me, I'd rather go with the times. I'll be gutted leaving St. James's Park. I'll be absolutely gutted. Bottom line is, right, we have to move on. We have to move on. You know what I mean? Jose, no way, he's a money mercenary. I think he probably had to go to Bayern Munich in the summer, by the way. I can't lie. Jobs, big up to Jobs, by the way. And welcome, big up in the room, my guy. Afternoon to you. And you are 34 minutes late. But listen, welcome aboard, by the way. So, sorry, we're laughing at you, but he's a character. He's always a character on social media. Big up. And Spurs ground is too big. It's big, but no atmosphere. Even the aliens landed there and had the head warm. And Alan, that stadium, man, is a fantastic stadium. For me, I think that Tontos Split Stadium is one of the best, not just in the Premier League, the best in Europe for me. It is fantastic. They've got it so damn right. Daniel Levy, I can't stand him. I don't like him. But I tell you what, big up to him for showing ambition as well. And bang on average for me. Yep, you're learning, kid. You're learning. What have we won at St. James's Park? Not much recently. I'm fully behind a new stadium with our new era. David, I'm on board with you, my guy. I'm on board with you as well. So we're going to go on to the next subject. Guys, before we go on, stadium move, Adam, yes or no?
Yes, I'm up for it.
John?
I would hate to have to, but you know, there's so many forces that are going to push us in that direction. You know, so it's a toughie. It's a toughie. I want everybody to work real hard. on thinking of a way that we could stay, but I understand the forces at play.
Yeah. And for me, I think that's going to please non-season ticket holders as well, saying that, I'm on a waiting list. I'm up for the stadium move. And you know what? If you get that stadium move, they're going to be over the moon. They will get a season ticket. It's like me. I didn't have a season ticket where it's only held 36,000. Yeah. When they expanded the stadium, right, the stand, I've got a ticket then because I was on that waiting list. So I applied for it. And then next day, the money came out of my account. And then I had a ticket a couple of days later. I thought, wow, I'm shocked. So, yes, let's go on to the next one. We're going to talk about Amanda Stavely. She did this interview, right, with Garden Newcastle, right? And basically, she was asked about Steve Bruce. And I think you guys, when I heard it, I thought, wow. She said that Steve Bruce didn't want to come to work. And because he looked tired, he didn't want to be there, didn't want to motivate himself. There's an aging squad. Amanda Stavely says some good things since she's been there, yeah? She's got a lot of things right, John. What's your take on that comment on Steve Bruce? Do you think she's right? Because for me, I think she was,
I think she just said what everybody knew. I think it was widely reported that, when you're following the team back then, it was like, they're off of training. They're not going to have training today. It's like, why? So they had this really disruptive training schedule. It was just not what you really need. And we were playing so bad. And I think he was depressed or something. He was trying to figure out how to hang on at the club and get fired and get a big payout, But she just finally said it. I don't have any
after 2.5 years. After
right.
2.5 years, do you know what I mean? Why
right.
did it not? Why she not said this before that? Why is it taking until 2.5 years for her to come out and say that? Because we forgot about Steve Bruce for 2.5 years, and yeah, she comes out and saying about Steve Bruce. So that should have got done ages ago.
Well, I think you got to be somewhat tactful, but I guess at a certain point you just blurt it out, right? And that's how I feel. It's like I can be nice to people and nice to people and nice to people, but then if they keep provoking me with the same question, it's like, yeah, well, just hey, here's the other side of the coin. The guy didn't even want to show up. Of course, we were lousy, So I'm okay with it.
Yeah. What about you, Adam? Look, do you think Amanda should have come out and made those statements out? Well, why is it taking 2.5 years now for her to come out with a statement like that? That, in my opinion, and a lot of people haven't been saying this, that should have been coming out ages ago. Why is it come out now?
But I think it was a really good interview.
I agree.
I don't think she didn't hold back on a lot of things. I think she talked about the Premier League and compared it to the NHL. And she really went for the Premier League, I thought, and in a very tactful way. And that's how she's conducted herself all of the time up until now. But I think the mentioning of Steve Bruce was just a little bit out of character. It's maybe the wrong time, like you've said. It's in the past. It's gone. There's no real need to address it, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to kind of agree. Look, we moved on from Steve Bruce. Yeah, he has to come up. Yeah, we're trying to get the European football. Yeah, doing okay. We're trying to get that, and then comes out of that as well. She also said about transfers as well. What's going to happen on the transfers, John? She said that you're going to have to wait and see on the transfers. She's not going to give much away, isn't she, on transfers? You know what I mean? No one are going to come out and say we're going to spend this, we're going to spend that. You know what I mean? But it was a great interview. I think she handled it well, but the transfer thing, like you said, we knew all along.
Yeah, I don't know. She's probably in a tough spot with Dan Ashworth leaving. It's like you don't want to tell anything about transfers. You don't want to divulge anything. You don't want to, and we may be changing who we're going after based on him leaving. I don't know. So yeah, I didn't hear that part of the interview.
Yeah. Yeah, and she also said as well about FFP. which I'm going to read out. I'm going to ask Adam Sir's comments as well. They are very seen as financial assets. And 2008, the rules and environment around the Premier League changed. Different rules on ownerships and stakeholders, on then the incredible growth of Premier League in terms of the players as it's attracting the media rights that underpin those valuations. They are attracted to a lot of institutional investors. As you also added, just a little bit more, the FFP is difficult, but they're prepared to stick within that rules as well. So for me, I mean, it's going to be FFP. I mean, this FFP thing, right? We're hamstrung. We can't spend anything because do you think they protected the big six?
Completely. And I think that's why I mentioned the comparison to the Hockey League. Was I think that was her way of saying the Premier League isn't run properly. You know, that she talks about how the Premier League's revenue is the same as the National Hockey League. And for me, the Premier League is the biggest sporting sports watched in the world, I think. No offense to any Americans who like NFL. But football, the Premier League is the biggest, in my opinion. It should not be on par with the Hockey League. I don't have the statistics to say how well supported hockey is across the world, but with just that, I think that was Amanda saying that it's not run very well. We should be making a lot more money. Clubs should have the freedom to spend. She also goes on, I think, to mention that, you know, it's an entertainment industry. Yeah. And why are they being made to suffer, you know, restrictions and financial fair play and sustainability rules when actually their real aim is to entertain, get more bums on seats and, you know, compete and put on performances. So I do think that she was kind of having a go at the Premier League, as we said before, in a very tactful, respectful way. But also letting us know that there are restrictions. The club is in a difficult place, you know, and back to why she wasn't able to say, yes, we're going to go and spend in the summer because, you know, it's still up in the air. Have we got any money to play with?
Yeah, facts, absolute facts. I mean, if I was a man, I would have ripped the Premier League apart because what they're doing, doing for me, they just don't want Newcastle United to be successful at all whatsoever. They want to protect the big six. They don't want us upsetting the big six. They don't want us to compete. It's all about competition. Yeah, it's all about competition, right? We want to compete. We want to be the number one. Even our owners say we want to be the number one, right? We want to buy the best players. We want to buy players going to make a difference. Yeah, we want to make our own stars, of course. Yes, but at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, right, and this is the thing, right? I want to win titles. I want to win trophies. I want to be in the top four. Yeah, but I'm fair to say the Premier League are restricting us. But one thing I'm going to say, right, to Richard Masters, right, I hope this PSR gets blown out of the water. Rip it apart, rip up the paperwork, rip up the script, and let us spend what we want. Because you can't tell us what we can spend, what we can't spend, right? They're holding us back.
Definitely.
Yeah. And, you know, John, if you asked me, do you think the rules were written to protect the big six, I would ask you, who do you think proposed the rules? Who do you think proposed those rules? You know,
Danny Levy, maybe, even Liverpool, Americans told the Premier League, watch out for Newcastle, stop them.
Yeah,
it is absolutely ridiculous. You know what? One of these days, right? I've got a feeling we're going to spend. Right, you know what? Sod you. We take the points. We're going to spend 250 mil. We take the points. Sod you. We're in the title, and then the points wouldn't even be been mentioned. You know what I mean? Yeah. So has Man U not paid the cash for Ashworth? Ashworth, they will do. They will do, Alan. Slow and steady, John. A man and go working hard behind the scenes. The Premier League and the top six will trip their selves up. Jules, thank you very much. Thank you, Jules. Thank you very much. That sense,
I think Jules is right. They are trying to be very strategic, and they're trying to be very organized and methodical about how they do this. But they are making their points. They're putting those things out so that people start to ask questions. You know, the first time this came out, there was a lot of newspaper articles about it, and it got the whole football followers discussing it, and I think that's the way they want to go. They want to build the idea and then capitalize on it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, as well, they'd stop us getting top sponsorship as well. The Premier League, and we're going to keep an eye out and see what sponsors we get. Again, right? Money's coming in. We're not spending money. Money's coming into us. The sponsorship, right?
Yeah.
Again, the Premier League are controlling clubs like ourselves, Villa, Brighton, hand up in Liverpool City. Yo, beautiful. Take it in, take it in. But the Premier League cannot stand Newcastle United. Oh, I'm going on one day. I'm sorry, guys. I'm being a passionate rant here. A passionate rant. Do apologise, guys. I've gone on a passionate rant.
No.
Anyway, I said it before. If a club spends unlimited amounts and buy the best players, there will be no competition. Each club should be allowed to spend the same amount. And if they don't have it, tough. That's from Lorraine. Thank you, Lorraine. So many more fan base are starting to sing from the same song sheets. Yeah, I agree with you there.
True.
It's true. United are laughing stock. That's an Alan. Alan's a wind-up merchant, and by the way, watch out for him. He likes to wind up opposition fans about Steve Bruce being the next manager. Watch out for him. But I love him, by the way. Big up to Alan. How could it call financial FFP if it was fair? Then everyone would have the same spend limit. David, I kind of agree. I mean, they're talking about John a salary cap, and I don't think they ever have a salary cap here. They never have it here.
Yeah. I don't think that's where we're at. I don't think it's headed that way. But there has to be some kind of better management of the system. I think what happened was, the Premier League was established, and all of a sudden they competed with all the other leagues around Europe. And when you think of the NHL or the NBA or the NFL, it's different. It's different here. People leave their countries to come here to play in that one system, the NFL, the NBA, the NHL. They recognize it as the top. Well, the Premier League has become that. And now what do you do to manage it? I don't know. I don't. I know that just, slapping this club down and slapping that club down is probably not the way to go. And the fact that they said they're going to sanction teams that have sponsorship deals that they feel are inappropriate, well, that just seems like it's kind of backwards, because you're sanctioning the team after they made an agreement. You should be involved in that negotiation so that you either approve it or don't approve it. You don't sanction them afterwards. But they'll probably say, "Oh, we don't want to get involved with your business." It's like, you're involved with our business. So that's my thought.
I think no one really knows what to expect, because you've still got all these cases pending with Manchester City, and how's it going to go? Are you actually going to be penalised for it, or is it going to be brushed under the carpet, depending on who you are?
That's an excellent point, Adam, because maybe we're just holding back to see what happens to Man City, and if nothing happens to them, we'll spend the hell out of our money, and just go after and recreate what they did. And 2 years from now, we'll be dominating the league.
Yeah,
very good point. Go ahead, Adam. I hope I didn't cut you off.
Oh, no, it's fine. I think it's kind of what PSG did a couple of years ago, didn't they? They tried to sign everybody and create almost like a super team of all these stars, and just threw as much money in as they could. And, there's no repercussions there.
Yeah. Then, before we go on to the Chelsea game as well, I mean, go for it. The rules were brought in to stop City, then Newcastle got rich. You know what? End of the day, the Premier League do not like Newcastle. They know that. They're not going to come out and say that, are they? And Loans back in Adam. I hate Danny leaving. He tried to block our takeover. And I remember that every time we beat them. Exactly. Remember last season, we absolutely roasted, toasted them, seasoned them, cooked, battered them, seasoned, marinated. You name it. The lot. And then they've done exactly the same as well.
And it tasted great.
Yes.
Unbelievable game.
The face that Levy's fist says it all. Brilliant stuff. So let's go on to the match on Monday. Quick one between Chelsea and Newcastle. Start with you, Adam. You know what? I mean, Chelsea spent £1 billion, right? £1 billion. They haven't got a centre forward, right? I mean, they still got like players like Sterling, Gallagher. I mean, their best player is Cole Palmer. Yeah. Yes. I mean, that Chelsea, you look at a team, right? They're not a team. They're just individuals for me. They've got a couple of good players in there, but the bottom line is they're just, for me, right? I don't think this is a great Chelsea team. Yes, they're the best club in London, in my opinion, because they win titles in the Champions League. But I'm not scared of this Chelsea team. I truly believe, I say it's going to be a draw. We could get more than a draw.
Yeah, I think Gary Neville hit the nail on the head, didn't he? The £1 billion bottle jobs was what he said in the cup final. And I think he's right. They've thrown so much money at it, which you know, financial fair play. Surely he's got to take a look at that at some point. They've thrown so much money at it, but they don't have a clear team. Pochettino just can't seem to get a tune out of this squad of players. I think looking at the stats, I think they're one win in 5. I think it is in the Premier League. I mean, ours aren't much better, but 1 win in 5. I think we can go there and get 3 points. Because if you think back to the cup game, unfortunate to go out on penalties. It wasn't until a late mistake, you know, and I think Eddie Howe touched on it in his press conference the other day that at that point we were really depleted. Yeah. Now we've got players coming back. I think we can go there and, you know, get a little bit of justice for the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, totally agree. So I'm on fire. Thank you. Well, I hope not. I hope it's not. 1 in 7, like the 2021s. Jamie and our house who were playing. I tell you what, when I saw the score, I see the tweets and saying that bloody hell, they need to rip up that Cannon start again. How many times have got thrashed this season, man? Unbelievable. Man, you had £1 billion bottle jobs as well. So does Arsenal. From last season, they had an 8-point buffer, and they absolutely bottled it. If that was Newcastle, right, John, I'll ask a question quickly for Chelsea. If Newcastle was 8 points clear and didn't win a title, do you think we would have bottled it?
No.
Would you call us bottle jobs?
No. If you're talking about the Chelsea game now, I agree with Adam and yourself, John. I think we're in a good position to go get 3 points. I'd hate to have a setback because of the way the fans react on social media. That would hurt. But I think we're in much better position than we have been. And you know what disappoints me about getting knocked out by Chelsea in the cup is we beat the hard teams to get there. I thought we beat Man City and Man United and we just ran out of gas against Chelsea and made a bad mistake. But I think we can win. I hope we win because I think we've turned a corner when you get guys like Willock and Barnes back on the pitch. I think we got more resources now, and I think we can take one down there. And I really hope we do because then the momentum will really build for now to the rest of the season.
Yeah, very true, very true. We want an example of entitled fans. If you want an example of entitled fans of Sky expectations, Chelsea is right up there. Wow. Each to their opinion. Each to their opinion, man. I'm not going to tell Alex that. You look at Lewis's fan count, Chelsea Fans TV. My God, that guy is on fire. People call him toxic, negative, but he cares for the club. I don't know if you watch him, my God. FFP is going to kill the Premier League. They have no money coming in, so the European leagues will benefit from it. Yep, true. We would have beat Liverpool in the cup. I doubt it, David. I doubt it.
I think we would.
I'm not sure.
I think the standard of the final this year wasn't the same of last year, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Probably would. Liverpool under 21s as well, by the way. Liverpool under 21s won, Chelsea 0. My God, that ain't good. But I mean, Trippier's going to be out this Saturday, and if you talk about Trippier, yeah, I agree with you, Adam, sort of thing. We might have beaten them. We might have beaten them lot. Would be amazing if he did, man. Any Liverpool side, oh man, then we'd have shot to Jurgen Klopp just for the sending off. You know what I mean? He does like getting beat off Newcastle. Then
I'm hoping we can do that to Cole Palmer on Monday.
Yeah, but who's going to be facing them? Dan Burn.
I don't mind. I like Dan Burn. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, he gets a lot of stick. He's getting a lot of stick, and he's getting a lot of stick, man. It really, really is. But we'll see. But we'll see what happens on Monday night. But the thing is, before I do that, let's go for the score prediction on this game. I'll start with you, Alex, because you're new. Chelsea, Newcastle. You seem confident, right?
Yeah, I'm confident. I'm going with 2-0. I don't think they've got a real threat for us. I think if Tino's going to be starting at right back, because as you just said, Trippier's out. I think defensively we should look solid. We've got Willock back compared to last time. I'm confident. 3 points, 2-0. Close that gap on 6th. Start climbing up the table.
Wow. Big Dan Burn rules, yes! You're never going to beat Dan Burn. Guess why? Because he's from Blythe, right? Love it. 2-0 to the 2 there. And what about you, Johnny?
I think probably 2-1 we win it. I'm going with 2-1. I don't know. I just got a feeling. And, before each match starts, I look forward to each match, no matter what. Even when we were injured and we had guys out, I was like, we can do it. We can do it. I look forward to each. I vote with my head and my heart. And my heart wins out a lot. But in this case, I think 2-1 is a fair shot. We'll give one up, but hey, we're gonna win 2-1.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. And Gordon's interview with Craig Hope highlighted the importance of supporting anyone in the black and white. Do you know what? I'm going to talk to Charlie Bennett on Wednesday. He's my guest on Wednesday night. Charlie Bennett is in the house on Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, and we'll be discussing Anthony Gordon as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. And talk it off the Scouser, Adam, quickly. Marks out of 10 for Anthony Gordon this season.
He's got to be a 9, hasn't he? He's done really well. There's been times where he's looked like he's a little bit tired. He looks like he's been maybe overworked, could do with a little bit of a rest, but we haven't had the bodies to be able to give him that. But he has been fantastic. So I'm 9 out of 10 for so far.
Yep.
John?
Absolutely. I agree 100%. He's been honorable the way he's taken after it. He did some growing with us in the beginning, and it's showing now. He's just a mature, well-rounded, very good player, and gives his all the whole game. So, yeah, 9 out of 10 for sure. Good call, Adam.
Thanks.
Very good call. Lawrence Gordon quickly 2-1 to Newcastle. I'm saying 1 each in this game. Ooh. And I'm sorry to say that, but I hope I'm wrong. But
I hope so.
I hope I'm miles off. But I've said it's going to be 1 each. I said that to Alex, and that's how I think it's going to be. I'm not going to change my mind on that one, but I hope we win. 3-1 to Newcastle will be up for this game. Alan, I hope you are correct. And any more people in the chat, give us a score predictions, so close the show. And but like I said, it's been a tough season anyway, Adam. Like injuries, 13 players out, and we had to soldier on as well. And you know what? I think we're going to be out this season. Can you get into Europe this season?
I think so. I think a strong finish. I think Monday is going to be quite important. I think if we don't get 3 points on Monday, we're not going to close that gap with 6th. And then it lets Chelsea close the gap on us, which is going to put a bit more pressure on. But I think a win on Monday, continue that momentum, get some more points on the board. Yeah. I think we can still get Europe. I think with all the injuries, the first season in Europe for a long time, I think if we finished 6th, that would be a fantastic season.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go for 6th this season. No problems at all. 6th, 7th, I'll be happy over the flipping meal on that one. And last word goes to John.
Oh, I think Adam's right. If we get a victory on Monday, it gives us all a we can breathe a little easier and feel like we've really turned the corner. And it was injuries that was keeping us back, and now we're getting back on track and we're playing the way we want to, just like we did last year. So yeah, I think it's a big game for both clubs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, totally agree. But we'll see what happens at the end of the season. But I think we're going to get 6th or 7th. But let's go on.
And a shout out to Jules.
Yeah, big up.
Thanks,
and big
Jules.
up to Jules as well. You don't seem nervous at all. John here, great to see you again. Fantastic. Thanks, Jules. Thank you very much indeed for showing Adam some love. And Flash Gordon said 9. I like that. What are you saying? They're saying 1s each. 2-1 to Wolves. We got a goal back. And are we safe yet? Sorry, force of habit. Andrew, we are safe. Stop panicking.
Yeah,
Come on, man. I love Andrew, but stop stressing out. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Don't look down. Look up.
yeah.
Anyway, love you, Andrew. Listen, I'm going to put the show there, guys, but thank you so much in that as well. And thanks to the chat as well. I should be back either tomorrow or Monday. I've got myself a new job starting on Monday after 15 years of my company. So very emotional. So, Adam, first off, did you enjoy coming on my show today?
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you very much for having us. And good luck with your job on Monday.
Thank you very much indeed, matey. And where can we also find you? On your socials?
On Twitter, the Toon Kit Collector.
Yeah.
Obviously, recycling vintage Newcastle United clothing. So keep your eyes peeled.
Fantastic stuff. I'm going to buy one of your shirts as well. You're going to have to tell us when, sort of thing. So let me know on that one as well. And Brentford's getting smashed. They haven't kicked off yet, but good luck to you, mate. And 3 points coming your way. Well, I think you should win today, the way you're playing. Others should be 3 points coming your way. Thank you very much indeed, Andrew. And
Hey, John.
And Joe, where can we find you? Go on.
John, I look forward to seeing you in Newcastle. I'll be there for the West Ham game. I'll be there. I'll be there for the Everton game. So hopefully I run into you.
Fantastic stuff. It's going to have to be the West Ham game because Everton, I may not make for the Everton game. It's a midweek game, so and I'm on my probation, so it will not be a good look as well if I start my new job. Otherwise, I'm gut. I would have loved to go to that game, but just can't make it. But I'm definitely going to the West Ham game, and I'll try and get an interview as well. And where can we find you, Big J?
Me, I'm on Twitter. It should be on the screen there at John O'Hare OK.
Big up, bro. Thank you very much indeed. Do get him followed on Twitter or X, where we want to call it, and also follow Adam on Toon_Collector, or in lower cases as well. The links or the titles in the title description as well, where we want to call it. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Lorraine, thank you, Alan, and thank you, Les. And we're going to close the show here, and it's been fantastic. Are you happy with Lascelles and his new deal? Would you move to a new stadium? What's your take on Amanda on Boost, and also score prediction for the Chelsea match on Monday? So, guys, if you like what you watch, like and subscribe. I'll have you backstage, and as always,